It's the same thing. I say ni hao, wanton mee.
Hi, my name is Thaw. I'm 25 this year and I'm currently working in the marketing field. I am from Myanmar and I've been in Singapore for about 15 years.
Hi, my name is Huy. I'm 29 years old and I am a senior creative executive at TSL. I'm from Vietnam and I've been in Singapore for 9 years.
Hi guys, I'm Bhakti. I'm 21 years old this year and I'm studying full-time at SUSS. And I'm from India and I've been living in Singapore since I was 6 months old. So basically my entire life.
Hi, my name is Li Xiao and I'm turning 20 this year and I'm currently studying in Singapore. I'm from China and I've been in Singapore for the past 13 years.
When and why did you choose to come to Singapore?
So my dad came here in 1991 to get a job. So after he settled down and everything, he decided to bring our whole family over in 2006. He wanted us to have a better education in Singapore.
So I was doing a marketing degree in Vietnam, but then I all the time knew that it wasn't something that I want to do. I came here for LaSalle. I studied design communication.
So basically my dad, he got a job over from Singapore. So he just decided to shift.
I came from a part of China that is not doing very well. So my mom really wanted me to have a better future. So my aunt actually brought us to Singapore to give me like a better education.
What are some things that you like about Singapore since you've lived here?
It's a very developed country, so you really have all the resources you need. The security financially is very stable.
It's very safe and secure. So you can just go down to like your coffee shop at 2 a.m. and just get a like prata or something.
And also I like the food, all the Indian food, Malay food, Chinese food.
Have you heard of the term xenophobia before?
Actually, I thought that xenophobia and racism were kind of the same thing.
Is it like a fear of foreigner?
It's like a fear of being prejudiced, having prejudice or discriminating foreign people.
So it's like when you make like remarks about this certain country, right?
It's kind of like when local people have a prejudice against foreigners.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Have you personally experienced xenophobia in Singapore?
When I actually first came here, when I was in primary school, I guess I experienced it, but back then I thought it was the norm. My mom even shared with me that when she actually shifted here in 2000, in the MRT, like when she used to sit down with me and my sister, like we were kids, no one used to come and sit beside her. When she used to sit beside them, they used to get up and walk away.
I have faced some like discrimination remarks. I think that comes from like a little bit of like insensitive and low EQ rather than like discrimination. A lot of people, when they know that I'm from Vietnam or I'm a Vietnamese, right, they will start to like say Xin Chao to me. It's like the Chinese go to an Ang Mo country and then the person will say like Ni Hao. Just because I'm Vietnamese, right, and they want to be friendly and then they say it to me, but to me it feels very uncomfortable. Some people don't really just stop there. Maybe they'll try to be funny and then they'll say like Xin Chao Pho or Xin Chao Ban Mi, which is like, it's the same thing. I say Ni Hao Wanton Mee.
I feel like it started in P4. Yeah, when like my classmates, they have like access to like the internet, right? Then they see like all the China stuff going on, you know, like eat like dog meat. They will tend to joke about this, like say, oh, do you eat dog meat because you're from China? It was quite hard for me to like make friends in primary school. In secondary school, I was called like a China.
Did you ever find out the reason why they said all these things?
I feel like some of them, they just think that it's quite funny.
Because I'm a foreigner living in Singapore, right, and I have to rent a place to stay. Then a lot of times when I mention that I'm a Vietnamese, the agent tend to stop replying me after that.
My sister actually faced this in poly. So she was in a group of basically non-Chinese for project work. And this teacher would always pass racist remarks in class. Like if my sister or like any of her friends answer his questions, he'd be like, oh, you're so outspoken for Burmese or like a Malay. What about you Chinese people? Like why you're not speaking up? Later they all take your jobs.
When you're on the receiving end of like them not replying you and stuff,
Yep.
like how do you feel at that moment?
I think for the first few times, I didn't really feel much. I'm a believer in preferences. So if they have a preference, it's their choice, man. But then it started to make me think like, is it wrong to be a Vietnamese here in Singapore? You know what I mean?
It affected me the most when I was in primary school and secondary school, when I'm still not that mature yet. Whenever stuff happened to me, right, it really makes me really like, just really, really sad. Like I don't understand why. And I don't understand where all their hate are coming from. Yeah, but then now that I'm turning like 20, right, I feel like I've matured. You know, maybe they have their own reasons as to why they act like certain ways. You know, maybe someone really hurt them. You know, maybe they had like a really bad like experience with like Chinese.
In recent times, there have been some xenophobic sentiments in the news due to the COVID-19 situation. How do you feel about when you read news like that?
I was terrified at first. When this actually came up in the news, this lady was actually physically attacked. Like, what if I'm jogging somewhere and this happens to me just because I'm an Indian?
It's quite similar to when COVID first emerged, when they asked the Chinese to go back to their country because they think all Asian carry the virus lah.
I remember like when COVID first started, right? Some of my really close friends, they will post on Instagram story like all the Chinese lah, like all the China people lah, eat what bats all lah.
COVID is a global issue. It's not just China's problem. It's not just India's problem. And no matter where it came from, no matter where it started, I don't really see what you can bring up by saying that, oh, it came from here, that's why I hate this country. There's no positive outcome from that.
There was like a lot of political unrest in Myanmar. Recently, I went on Facebook and then I saw that there was a lot of racist and like xenophobic comments like go back to your country and a lot more hateful comments, I would say. When I read those comments, right, I felt like an outsider, you know? You feel unwanted and then like you're actually like bringing problems.
Do you think Singaporean locals try to distinguish themselves from foreign nationals of the same race?
I think this happens. It's not just them who try to distinguish. Sometimes it's even the foreigners who try to distinguish from the locals. The local Indians, maybe from my perspective, it may be like, oh, this is our country, or like we came here first. The people who actually come from outside, like me, I don't know how, they're just a bit snobby about it, like, oh, we are better than you. When I was younger, I didn't have a lot of local Indian friends. And my mom also like didn't let me mingle around a lot with local kids. But then today, as of today, I do have a lot of local friends. And I'm very happy.
When my family first came into Singapore, right, we are quite poor. My mom, she has to juggle 3 jobs just to like pay off rent and like pay for my education. On the other hand, you see like Singaporeans, you know, most of my friends that are like comfortable, yeah, then you will feel like, oh my god, like they are so much better than me, you know, they can afford like such like nice school bags. Then there's me, you know, like in the cheap stuff. You know, maybe like they see people like that, they'll be like, you so low, no, I'm like better than you. I'm from Singapore, I can speak like perfect English. You know, people like want to hire me for like jobs and stuff like that. I like felt really insecure about like even sharing that I'm from China when I was in primary school.
Where do you think these xenophobic sentiments stem from?
One of the main reasons is the sentiment has just been engraved into the society. I had this talk with my close friend. She's a Chinese, and she was telling me that she used to subconsciously do stuff that would actually discriminate people. And she didn't know. And she told me that actually, Bhakti, my grandmother, my grandfather used to behave the same way. So I thought, oh, that's how it's supposed to be. So I guess it really comes from your household, your parents, your grandparents, whatever that has been taught to you.
So a lot of people are like misinformed. I remember in secondary school, my social studies teacher, she was like, oh, you're very pretty for Burmese, you know. Then actually, I said, what is that supposed to mean? Are you like saying that other Burmese people are ugly? Then she was very shocked. She was like, huh? But it's a compliment, like, you know, why are you so offended? A lot of people are not aware when they give this kind of compliments. They think they are being nice to you.
My skin like is a bit more towards the fairer side. People used to like come up to me and then say, wait, aren't you an Indian? Like, how come you're fair? But I used to take that as a compliment when I was young. But then like later on I realized like it's not a very nice thing to say.
Why did you feel like you took it as a compliment?
Because that's how it was portrayed, that if you're fair then you will be accepted much more easily.
It gives you like a false sense of like superiority, I guess. So I feel that because I look more Chinese, so I'm treated maybe in a better way than another Burmese person that may look more Burmese than me.
I still remember like a couple of years ago, I remember this whole foreign talent thing was like a really huge thing in Singapore. You know, everybody was so upset that like there are so many foreigners here in Singapore like looking for jobs, and this took away like job opportunities for like locals. As much as like I face those like hateful comments, sometimes I really like understand where they're coming from.
Did all these incidences that happened make you perceive Singaporeans or Singapore differently?
When I'm in that situation at that point, yeah, like I don't understand their comments, their hate, but I mean, I still have like Singaporean friends that are really, really nice to me. That they don't care where and which part of China I'm from. You know, they're just like my friend because of me. As much as there is like racist people in Singapore, there are also like nice people. So you can't just judge a country or like this environment just based on like those few like negative people.
How do you think Singapore can be more inclusive?
I think the most important thing is individual awareness. People don't understand that their words have power, you know? Even like innocent remarks can actually perpetuate like existing stereotypes.
I guess when it comes to like health issues or like even job issues, like yeah, I understand why you have those fears and why you have those worries, but it's not necessary to associate your fears with someone's skin color, with someone's race or nationality or identity or where they're from. Like it's something they really can't control.
So it's fine, like if you have a bad experience with a Vietnamese before, if it forms a bad impression about Vietnamese in general, maybe try to keep an open mind. Even though you have formed like a certain impression or like, a certain prejudice about certain races, I think it should be treated individually instead of generalizing the whole race. Talk to the person, find out more about him, and judge the person for himself or for herself instead of putting that person in a box.
It's very important to be informed, you know, if you don't know something, like ask politely, have conversations with your minority friends, and be open to ideas. Also, I think for people our age, it's very important to use your voice to educate your like parents.
I feel like instead of like joining in, maybe they could like stand up and say something, just like simply enough. We are not expecting you to like fight for us or things like that. No lah, it's just when you say something that's like really comforting, right? No matter how bad we are feeling in that moment, it's just like it warms your heart lah.
You might not understand the reason why they do certain things, but it doesn't give you the right to, you know, disrespect people lah. Everyone is still human and everyone deserves to be treated kindly and with respect.
Thank you for watching this video, and thank you MCCY for making this possible.
If you have any experiences to share, please let us know in the comments below.
And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Bye! Be nice in the comments.